So the legacy of René Descartes is known as Cartesianism. The question is, what was the result? What were the effects of Cartesianism throughout Europe? In Germany, Cartesianism had little influence except that Balthasar Becker used it to argue against the persecution of witches. Think about this for a moment. We are killing people for being suspected of being witches. Can we use reason here, people? It was Becker who took a look at Descartes' philosophy and said, wait a minute, magic seems to be nonsense insofar as if the spiritual can't act on the material, then how can demons or whatever be acting upon human beings like us? So he was using Cartesian philosophy as an argument against witchcraft. In Holland, professors and lecturers issued manuals of Cartesian philosophy and defended it against theologians. Why would we have to defend it against theologians? Because they were the authority at that time. Descartes was upsetting that system. In France, where Descartes was from, Cartesianism was the fashionable philosophy of the 17th century, but isn't like anything else, right? We have one fad, everyone reads, goes out and buys a certain book or sees a certain movie, but then we tend to forget about it a little later. So it was fashionable for a century or so, but then during the 18th century, not so much. There was considerable opposition to Descartes' works. His works, for instance, in 1663 were placed on the Roman Catholic Church's Index of Forbidden Books. Wait a minute, say what in plain English? If you were a Roman Catholic, you were forbidden from reading Descartes. His works were forbidden. 10 years later, the Parliament of Paris was ready to issue a decree against Cartesianism, except that Nicolas Boileau made fun of opposition to reason, which in his work he represented, those who are against Descartes are against reason. You want to be known as the political figures who are against reason? Universities tried to stop the teaching of his philosophy. Universities like Angers and Caen. Pascal attacked Descartes' system as being deistic. Bishop Pierre Daniel Way maintained skepticism could be overcome only by faith. Think about it. Why are we doubting, right? That seems to be contrary to faith. Skepticism can only be overcome by faith and not by rationalism. Just have to have faith, people. By the 18th century, despite prohibition, his works became textbooks even in seminaries. But then other philosophies attracted more attention. But still today, Descartes is important enough that we could not have a course in modern philosophy without speaking about the influence and the legacy of René Descartes.